गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। नमामि गौडपादं च शङ्करं श्रीसुरेश्वरं स्वामिनं सच्चिदानन्दमिन्द्रं तं ज्ञानरूपिणे. So as we were discussing, the very principle of marriage, the very idea of marriage, both was different. The very idea of marriage, the goal of marriage, all that was different. It is not only for Artha Kama Purushartha, there was a higher ideal. Even Artha Kama Purushartha, I can tell you, it is a Trivarga, we call them. Trivarga. Trivarga means three Purusharthas. Artha, Kama and Dharma. They constitute a triangle. In the sense, Artha and Kama and Dharma. These three constitute a triangle. It means no one of them should be practiced at the cost of other two. For example, Artha Purushartha. You can acquire money, preserve it and spend it. So this is Artha Purushartha. You can acquire money, preserve and spend it, not at the cost of your Kama, that is pleasure. Pleasure means living comfortable life and all kinds of pleasures put together, physical, mental and all. In fact, our music and dance was also included. Certain arts were also included. Your picnic and all that was included in Kama Purushartha. So it was a little more sattvic than the modern people think of. Okay, modern people think Kama Purushartha means more of a sadism. You exploit, you torture them, you exploit them. They think sadism is a Kama Purushartha. Okay, so it was more of sattvic. So physical, mental, intellectual, all levels you enjoy. Okay, that I think is a different topic. We may discuss it separately. So Artha Purushartha, that is earning money and power, and social status. Okay, all this put together is Artha Purushartha. So this Artha Purushartha, earning, preserving and enjoying, spending it. All these three should not be at the cost of remaining two. What are the remaining two? Kama, that is a health, good health, pleasure and comfortable life. So your earning money and preserving and spending should not be at the cost of your comfortable and happy living. You make a lot of money and you cannot enjoy it, it is a waste. This is what? This is not a complete Purushartha. So Manu says, Vyasa says, Valmiki says. Okay? Manu, Vyasa, Valmiki. Manu in his Manusmriti, Vyasa in his Mahabharata, Valmiki in his Ramayana. All these three talk of this Trivarga. Okay. Then that Artha Purushartha also earning, preserving and spending should not be against Dharma also. See, if you incur papa in earning by exploiting people, by killing, by going against law, unjustly, if you earn and preserve, even in preserving, adharma should not be there. Even in spending, adharma should not be there. See, earning, so for us, economics in our Prachina Shastra, in our ancient Shastras, economics means earning, preserving, spending. All three put together economics. Okay. Nowadays only production and sales alone is economics. Production, sales and exploit and enslavement. Okay, you can add two more also. Production, sales and consumption. Consumption means make the people, enslave the people, make them to buy more and call it is a civilization we are developing. This is a consumerist economy. It is not a dharmic economy. It is bhogaparayana economy. It is an enslaving economy. So it is an enjoyment, consumption. I think in one word, enjoyment as well as depleting our nature, depleting mind, health and culture and values and all. So only economic development at the cost of everything else. One is it is a lopsided economic development. It ignores the other two purusharthas. Namma Shastra says economy, that is Artha Purushartha, should not be at the cost of other two. Dharma and Kama should not suffer. Your comfortable life, physical, mental, intellectual, your culture, your relaxed life, and your emotional level, intellectual level. Now, people cannot live together, family members. Husband works in one place, wife works in one place, children live in another place. So, see, that means even this family life, get together, living in the company of your beloved people, this emotional joy is also part of Kama Purushartha. Okay? So, all this they ignore, only they use you as a pawn in the production and sales unit, that's all. Whole world has become a production unit, and all human beings have become simply an object, an instrument of production. And consumption, they are not interested in your consumption. How you consume, you buy and throw away, doesn't matter. You buy, that's what we want. You may use them, you may throw away, doesn't matter, but buy. Therefore, we shouldn't call it a consumerism. We shouldn't call it as a buyer purchaseism. You buy, you may throw it away, but buy. That's important. Okay, production, sales. I think consumption is only human weaknesses. They may do, they may not do, doesn't matter. But you should produce and sell. And nature is destroyed, culture and values are destroyed, human life has no peace and no joy. So see, they don't bother. So you produce the wealth in such a way that your Kama Purushartha suffers. That you live, children live away from parents, parents live away from children, husband lives away from wife, wife lives away from this thing, and they have no time to live together, and still they make money. There's a prestige. Oh, that means Manu, Valmiki, Vyasa, all the three people told Trivarga. Okay, Trivarga means your economy should not be at the cost of Kama Purushartha. It should not be at the cost of Dharma also. The values, your inner Satya, Ahimsa, all good qualities, discipline, your personal life. So, you should not have such a routine of life that you won't be able to practice Dharma. Or you will be incurring sin, either individually or collectively. Nowadays, you say, they are producing, the production units don't ask you. They commit animals, they torture the animals, they destroy nature, they exploit human society, they blackmail even the governments and produce. And they say, we are selling you. In advertisement, they talk to you very sweetly, and they'll come home and talk to you sweetly and make you buy. That means they will commit all papa in their production and sales. Nature they destroy, blackmail the government policies, they pressurize the government policies, kill the animals and torture them, and produce the things. And while talking to you, they talk to you very sweetly, so that you will share their papa whatever they commit. Okay, so we just don't know what papa they are committing in the production and sales. Only we spend money and consume it. So in the very economy, in the production, there is a papa committed. Okay, in the production, papa is committed. In sales, papa is committed. Papa means papa towards nature, papa against devatas, papa against animals, papa against human society, papa against our own government, papa against ourselves. Okay, they are doing injustice to even ourselves also. They add certain things harmful to your health and they won't tell you. They won't tell you. They add the harmful chemicals in it. They won't even tell you. So this is the economy. All adharmic, exploitative economy. It is not simply commercial. They say it is commercial. Commercial means in our ancient days, you take money and give the thing worth of the money. This is commercial. You know what is commercial? You take the money and give the very qualitative, valuable thing worth the money. So this is simple. Commercial is good. Vaishya is a dharma. In our ancient days, business is a dharma. Dharma is not bad. But nowadays, commercial has turned into exploitative. Exploitative. Then, nowadays they call it, oh, it's all commercial. Commercial itself is not bad. But the commerce has become exploitative, destructive, harmful to you and the nature and the society and everybody. Okay. So, in Trivarga means what? Artha Purushartha should not destroy dharma, individual dharma, social dharma or national dharma. Dharma means the values, system and the goodness of the whole society. We destroy the social values, social systems, cultural systems, values. We enslave the people in the process. Oh, they say it is production and sales is our job. Let them do. If they want to, let them control themselves. See how they talk arrogantly. See, producing and sales is ours. Attracting is our job. If he wants to have, let him have self-control. That is left to him. We have given freedom not to buy. See, you educate all media, all TV has come for the salesman to advertise. But is there a single channel which talks on behalf of consumer? Don't spend your money. Don't buy these things because a papa is involved. If you buy these things, it will harm you. Is there a single channel, single program that talks you on behalf of the consumer? All of them talk on behalf of the producer and salesman. So you don't exist for them. Our education department, government says, earlier there was education ministry. We would call in our school days, we would call he is an education minister, education ministry. Now the education ministry, education involves culture, values, making a person a full-fledged personality, a dharmic personality. Therefore government did not like it. How can we call education as a culture? How can you call it educating a person, making a cultured man? We want a human being to be an inert object, a pawn in the production unit. Therefore they changed it to human resources department. The education ministry has been changed to human resources. That means what? Human being is an instrument. Like there are many things in the production, human being is also a pawn in the production. That's all. Human resource. He is a resource for what? For production. But human being is not an independent unit. Human being has no value because his value is only as an instrument in the production. Therefore they changed it to human resource. Resource means what? Like you get what you call natural products. You get lot of things from nature, from forest. Raw material you get from nature. Similarly, human being is a raw material used for production. That's all. One good thing is they didn't call him raw material. They only called him human resource. But education minister, they felt ashamed calling that education ministry. So they changed it. Most shameless fellows they are. The fellow who suggested, the fellow who implemented, the people who are tolerating this nonsense. All are shameless people. Okay, why do you allow this nonsense to change? Because the very outlook to human life, the outlook, the understanding of place of human being is lost. Human being has become an instrument for the production. Not that human being himself is important. Okay. So, Artha Purushartha should be in harmony with dharma. Should not be against dharma. Should not be against. People say, people lose their health, destroy everything and make money. They cannot live peacefully, they cannot have joy in life, but they have lot of money. What life is it when you cannot live comfortably, peacefully and happily with all music and art and entertainment and also with your company in the family members and beloved ones? If you can't live, what kind of economic development is it? Therefore, it should not be against Kama and Dharma Purushartha. Then when you practice Kama Purushartha, that is pleasure and enjoyment, joy, don't spend away your money so much that you become pauper by sending away all your money. Isn't it? You enjoy so much that your health is ruined. You drink so much, your health is ruined. You spend away money that you become pauper tomorrow. So that you become economically so pauper, or you become raise the loan so that you become indebted. You enjoy so much, spend away the money so much that your health is ruined, economics is ruined, your social status and respect is gone. Nobody believes you because you indulge in pleasures so much. So that Kama Purushartha also should protect your Artha. Artha means your material wealth and security should be there. Not at the cost of wealth. You should drain away all your wealth for sake of pleasures and joy. Okay. Then your Kama Purushartha should not be against Dharma. Which is permitted Dharma. All your relationship, emotional relationship, physical relationship should be according to Dharma. Okay. Therefore, Kama Purushartha is permitted not at the cost of Dharma and Artha. It should be in balance with dharma and artha. Okay. Now second, 2 points I told you. Now the third angle out of the three triangle. From the triangle, the third angle I say dharma. Even dharma also is a two ways. One dharma is sakama dharma, another is nishkama dharma. Sakama dharma should, when you talk of sakama dharma, it should be practiced in harmony with dharma and kama. I mean artha and kama. So you practice dharma so much that your money is lost, you will become pauper, and then you cannot enjoy your life because you lose all enjoyments. You cannot make money, but still you work hard for somebody. In this thing what happens? Two things. Either that means dharma, if you are practicing dharma, dharma should be two ways. That dharma should give you artha kama purushartha also. That is sakama dharma. It should give you artha kama purushartha also, then that is a sakama dharma. Then dharma can be practiced in another way, nishkama dharma. Nishkama dharma means artha kama, you may have a minimum, bare minimum, that's all. Bare minimum means just your food, clothes, that's all, nothing more. Just bare minimum maintenance. Pleasures also you don't indulge much, just basic health, that's all. Don't go for the extraordinary pleasures and all. So in kama you do tyaga, artha also you do taga, and do only dharma. That is a nishkama dharma meant for punya, that is karma yoga, meant for moksha purushartha or vaikunta prapti. Either krama mukti or nirguna brahma prapti, either way, direct moksha. So dharma can be practiced two ways. One is sakama, another is nishkama. If it is sakama, you can't practice dharma where your economic loss is involved. Little bit loss is okay, you may voluntarily, but totally you become pauper and wretched. That dharma you should not practice. And so that you can't have a joys of life, that you become totally slave, should not be done. Therefore, a dharma which makes you lose completely your wealth and your pleasurable life, comfortable life, that dharma is enslaving. So dharma, if it is keeping with artha kama purushartha, that is a good dharma. Rajasa dharma, medium dharma. Or you may follow karma yoga where dharma is predominant, nishkama dharma. Then artha kama is gauna, they become secondary. You are ready to voluntarily sacrifice pleasures of life, voluntary to sacrifice wealth and status, etc. for sake of dharma, like Harishchandra did, like Ramachandra did. Ramachandra clearly told when he went to forest, you see, Lokamavastu mustaya nahamarthaparo devi, I am not practicing artha kama purushartha along with dharma. I want to practice kevala dharma, kevalam dharma mashritam. Kevalam means without artha kama, I lose my kingdom. I don't have any money, any comfortable life. I live in forest like sadhus, like rishis, like sadhus. I live in forest. I follow only dharma. That is nishkama dharma. Harishchandra also wanted to give up all artha kama, artha and kama purushartha, wanted to do only dharma. Kevalam dharma mashritam. Kevalam means without artha kama. That is nishkama. Nishkama, something like as good as a sannyasi. Harishchandra became like a sannyasi. Ramachandra also became like a sannyasi. Therefore, so he wanted to live in a forest, accepting fathers. He says, Vidyamam Rishibhistulyam. He trying to convince Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi doesn't trust, he may not go, he is orally admitting. But is he manipulating? Kaikeyi thought. Oh, is he dilly-dallying, waiting so that all other people of the country or the kingdom, the ministers come, Vasishta come, Sumantra come, all other public of the Ayodhya will come, they will say, no, nothing doing, Kaikeyi should withdraw her boons and Rama should not go. People may modify it. Kaikeyi says, once you have accepted, go, don't delay, go first, you go first. He says, I want to talk to father. Father will be okay, you go first. Kaikeyi pressurizes Rama, you go away, you accepted that you will go, you go away first. My God, Rama feels, what is this, Amma? You don't trust me. Have I ever misbehaved like this? Have I ever went back on my words? Once I said, Amma. Once I say, Ramodvirna abhibhashate. Once I gave the word, let anything happen. I will not take back my word. I stick to my word. I stand by my word. See, Rama says, I stand by my, I will go. I am only waiting. I don't want to see my father, because now I see, whatever I see my father now, the same picture will remain for 14 years in my mind. Father also will see me in that condition for 14 years. I want to see that. Father, I want to see the smile on the face of my father. I want to tell him, Appa, I have accepted voluntarily. Father, I have accepted voluntarily. I am happily going. I am going very happily. Don't worry about me. So that I want to see Father smiling on his face, so that I can go comfortably. Otherwise, I will have this depressed father's face in my 14 years in my mind. This is, for this alone I am delaying. Otherwise, once I accepted, here I am. I am leaving now. He says, Amma, don't you trust me? Don't you believe me? Now he makes a pratigna. Vidyamam Rishabhistulyam. I am like a Rishi, I am like a sannyasi. Kevalam dharmam ashritam naham arthaparo devi. I am not interested in money, and I am not interested in wealth and kama purushartha, wealth and pleasure. Kevalam I am like a sannyasi. Kevalam nishkama karma dharma I follow. Yes, I am ready to give up everything. I am ready to go. So, this is what he told. I think that chapter, whole chapter, when he is talking to Kaikeyi, is worth reading. Each shloka you have to see them. How Kaikeyi is pressurizing Rama without losing temper. Patiently, more lovingly, more obediently she talks. Kaikeyi more suspects, because Kaikeyi is seeing other side, negative side. Rama is more telling, yes, I will go, Amma, I have already promised you, I will go. No, she doesn't trust. She doesn't trust. Abba, Rama says, Amma, you don't trust me. Haven't you seen me right from my childhood, what kind of person I am? Still you don't trust me. If you don't trust me, I am lost. If being a mother, you don't know my nature and you don't trust my words, you can see him. Rama doesn't lose temper. Patiently tries to convince. More and more he does pratigna. More and more he does pratigna, more she suspects. My God, that is a Rama's fate there, you see. Still patiently he tries to convince her. Okay, so there it is, Nishkama Dharma. Okay, and one is Sakama Dharma. There is another thing. You are enslaved. You are enslaved. Arthakama is not there. And Dharma also you cannot follow. They impose, they don't allow you to go to temple. They will destroy the temples. They don't allow you to practice your own religion. They make fun of your religion. They don't allow you to put your tilak. They don't allow you to practice your dharma. They will make fun of you. And they will Macaulay education, they will tell you, oh, Hinduism is all superstition, all idol worship, all barbarism. So that they don't allow you to practice your religion. Money also will be taken away. And they don't allow you to live comfortably and happily with Kama Purushartha. Kama is taken away, Artha is taken away. They don't allow you to do Dharma. What is this? Neither you have a Sakama Dharma. Sakama Dharma means following Dharma and also along with Arthakama Purushartha. Another is you may voluntarily sacrifice like Ramachandra and Harishchandra. Voluntarily sacrifice Arthakama Purushartha for sake of Dharma. That is a Nishkama Dharma you may want to do, like a freedom struggle. People have ignored their families. Families have suffered. His wife and children, they didn't have food to eat. They went hungry. They had to suffer. They participated. They were doing like Nishkama Karma. So that is a great thing. So the people have plunged into it. Do Nishkama Karma like Harishchandra did, like Rama did. They also suffered. So only Dharma. They wanted to protect that the country is in a difficult situation. We have to sacrifice our life. Give up all your property. No earning, no income. And family also doesn't have anything. But you are busy only in fighting against the Britishers. So this is Nishkama Dharma. Nishkama Dharma is one thing. Sakama Dharma is another thing. The third is enslave. Neither Artha nor Dharma nor Kama. None of the three you can practice. You are only enslaved. Do you know that now? What is India doing now? The third one, which is neither Dharma Purushartha, means no Purushartha. We are made in a foreign rule, which oppresses, suppresses us. You can practice neither Dharma nor Artha nor Kama. You work only as a slave. You have no personal happiness, personal pleasures and enjoyments. And Dharma also you can't practice. They'll make you to break your moral will also. Your moral strength, moral courage, they will break you. At least they won't allow you even to do as a nishkama karma also, because they will demoralize you. You may say that, okay, I will give up artha, kama, purushartha, I will live like a sannyasi, and then you will live more like a Harishchandra. Even that they don't allow. Because they want to, at least in Harishchandra and Ramachandra were allowed to follow dharma, nishkama dharma. Here they want to demoralize also. They want to destroy your temples, demean your religion, your gods, your gurus, so that you can't even practice that. That means they don't allow you even to practice nishkama dharma, like a sannyasi, like dharma. Then that means what? No dharma, no artha, no kama. Then what will be your life? You are only slave, good for nothing. Your life is equal to an animal. People say all religions are same even now. People should have some brains to talk, because people are talking from slavish mind alone. Therefore, at least dharma should be there, artha kama should be there. Trivarga together we have to practice. Okay. These three, Trivarga together, Manu says, Vyasa says, Valmiki says. Don't talk of Shankar Bhasha. These days it has become a fashion. Study Shankar Bhasha. No artha, no dharma, no kama, nothing. Everything only Brahma. This only Brahma is making you slaves. Neither Brahman nor anything. Okay. You are becoming your own enemy by learning Shankar Bhasha and talking Shankar Bhasha. First learn Manu, Vyasa, Valmiki, and then come to Vedanta later, at later stage. So here, when he gives up Sita, here at the time of Agni Pariksha in Lanka, and also again later in Uttarakanda, when there is a scandal, when people criticize Rama, when the public of Ayodhya criticize Rama, then also Rama abandons Sita in the forest. So that time there also, he is not giving up Sita from the status of wife. Okay, you remember. Once you marry, lifelong she remains wife. Wife and husband. Husband remains husband, wife remains wife. No question of abandoning. You may live separately due to some reason. Even if you remain separately, the status of wife and husband won't go away. Okay, this is our Dharma Shastra. Sita was abandoned by Rama. That doesn't mean that status of wife and husband is given up. There also, when Sita was abandoned in forest in Uttarakanda, later portion, during his life in Ayodhya, again due to the scandal of the public, he has to give up Sita, he has to abandon Sita in the forest. There also, after when he was doing Ashwamedha Yajna, he puts gold Sita. Gold statue of Sita he puts there and does the yajna. That means Sita alone his wife. Sita physically not present, but she is his wife. In all yajnas, pujas, Sita alone will remain. Sita alone is his wife. Without wife he can't do any yajna yagas. So Sita has to be there. But Sita is not physically present because due to certain extraordinary situation. Okay. He didn't say he didn't marry another woman. Nor he put another one. He has to put again gold statue of Sita and continue yajna. Okay. Like that. So when he gave up Sita, it doesn't mean the status of wife goes away. That will never go away. Once you marry, it remains lifelong. Only thing is, you live separately. This is called Nishkama Dharma. Here you see, in love, modern people, love means too personally interested. They think love. Love means too personally interested. I tell you, this personal physical interest will not last long. It is more of a moha than love. More of it is only moha. It will not last long. If both of them discover a common goal, common ideal, see if the husband and wife or lovers discover an inspiring ideal, okay? It should not be a simple ideal, an inspiring ideal. An ideal which inspires two people. Therefore, they merge their individual identities for sake of that one common ideal. Okay, if both of them, husband and wife, merge for sake of a one good inspiring ideal, like dharma, or some kind of spiritual thing, some kind of a good principle, good ideal, for sake of a principle, for sake of an ideal, if both and husband and wife discover the same principle as a goal of them, they are sharing the same ideal, They are living for the same ideal. Their individuals merge for sake of one common ideal. That love is an impartial love and a selfless love. That love alone can sustain them, can live lifelong together. If their love is only based upon physical body and towards each other, that will not last long. And the marriage will not be a lifelong marriage. Afterwards it will be only a quarreled marriage only. So here Rama and Sita, both of them working for principles. They are living for a dharma principle. Whatever principle Rama has accepted, the same principle Sita is ready. See, Sita is ready to follow the same dharma. Whatever principle Satya Harishchandra followed, Harishchandra's wife Chandramati also is ready to sacrifice her individual. See here, Harishchandra and Chandramati, his wife, lived separately. But the wife and husband status won't be broken. That status remains. You live separately. Here, sometimes you live together for sake of dharma. For sake of same dharma, you have to live separately. You live separately, but living for the common cause, that is dharma. So it is a sacrifice. Similarly, Ramachandra here, so he left, he repudiated, he rejected Sita, but not the dharma. So in future, Uttarakanda also, when he abandons Sita, same principle applies there. There, for sake of dharma, for whatever, for the dharma, for which dharma they have come together and became husband and wife, for the same dharma they had to live separately. Dharma is one, the ideal is one, the principle is one, the same principle is inspiring the sacrifice in them, therefore they can live separately. See, the same principle brought them together. It is not their individual liking for each other. It is not simply individual liking for each other. It is all these things I can discuss, but they are all in Balakanda, in the marriage, and later the marriage also we can discuss. But I think this much is enough. We are not going into entire Ramayana. We only want to talk these 2 episodes and leave them and go to our Vedanta. Okay. So here, the same dharma principle is an inspiring principle, not a mechanical, boring, helplessly, oh, I am bound by what can I do, I must practice, so I am bound. It is not. Dharma principle should be a very inspiring, attractive principle. That's how we have to understand and then feel it and think of it that way. And the Gurus also should teach you dharma is an inspiring and attractive. Our 2 foreign rules and education system made dharma lose all attraction. Dharma means boring, helpless, fanaticism and all nonsense they created. Dharma is a very noble, inspiring, loving principle. It brings about all good qualities, noble qualities in you. Okay, an enthusiasm, a sacrifice, a ready to do that. And also you feel a great joy and thrill in following it. Okay, so dharma should be an inspiring principle. So the dharma which brought them together. So for the common cause, see, when you discover both of them a common principle, a noble principle, an ennobling principle, an elevating principle. For sake of that, if 2 people, husband and wife, come together, see, every moment this love will be ever renewing, ever refreshing. It is every moment it is renewing. Otherwise, after a few days, you lose interest in each other, because each other is an individual. Individual is more of a physical and also partly individual, but it looks too superficial. It doesn't inspire you anymore, because the person is a jiva and he will have his own limitations and weaknesses, his own egos and his own all problems. He or she also has her own ego, her own problem. Then there will be a quarrel. So both of them has to merge into a higher principle. Both of them should be able to dissolve their individual ego and discover a common principle in which they merge. See, their ego should merge in a common principle, in a higher principle. There both of them will feel more elevated. Then that love, more and more they think of that common principle. The same principle inspires her, same principle inspires him. So when they think of the common principle, both of them get rejuvenated moment to moment, moment to moment. They keep inspired. Then the love will be continuously there throughout life until the end. Okay. That's why in our ancient people, it is a dharma that brings them together. Dharma is a very interesting principle, attractive, inspiring principle. So whatever Rama did, Sita also happily participated in it because it is a value, it is a principle for her also. If you look at it this way, now this context of Sita rejection you can understand. So when Sita, so we are in that context. Now I have little deviated. Deviation means little explanation. Come back to the point. So Sita says, first he did do pradakshina to Rama. Nishanke nantaratmana. In her mind she is very clean in her mind. Neither she is depressed. See, people say that husband rejected me, so under depression they commit suicide. These days you feel people. Under depression they commit suicide. They are interpreting that, oh, husband rejected Sita, therefore Sita is committing suicide out of depression, out of humiliation. Okay, she felt a little humiliation, that we don't say, but immediately she recovered. Now she thought of my principle, my dharma principle. In this difficult situation, I have to do little more sacrifice. I have to do my dharma in a more, what you say, strenuously. I have to follow my dharma. Therefore she told, first she did pradakshina to Ramachandra, came to the fire, and she prayed to the fire. See the beauty of it. She says, first she told, Michapavadopahatam naham jivitum utsahe. I cannot live with this false accusation sticking to me. False accusation made against me, not sticking, made against me. Carrying this false accusation, I cannot live. Therefore I must do something. So as I told you, one was empirical evidence. Empirical evidence was that Vibhishana, Hanuman, the workers who were in charge of Sita, who in Lanka, the women who were in charge of Sita in Ashokavana, they should have been brought and they should have given the evidence in front of everybody. Empirical, or probably they must have done also. Ramayana doesn't refer. So Vibhishana must have told, I will bring you my empirical evidence of Lanka. So, but Rama wanted here more than empirical evidence. The Pitrus, Devatas, Rishis, they should come and tell. They should come and tell. Because when they married by the blessing of Rishis, Devatas, and all elderly people, parents of both the sides. When they married, when they came together by the blessing of all these people, they will continue that married status as long as they win the blessing of all these people. See, I just noted down this idea before, so I will read out here. Mutual love and marriage of Rama and Sita was not merely self-selected. Self-selected marriage, self-selected love, but by the love and good wishes of all men, rishis and gods. Rishis, gods, parents of both the sides, they loved them, they blessed them, they shared their love. They also share their love. Means what? If you live together and husband and wife, we feel very happy. See, they want to see you be husband and wife. Therefore, they also share your love. They also share your goodwill, your comfortable life, happy life, and live together. So it is when Devatas share your happiness, when Rishis share your happiness, Pitrus share your happiness, whole society shares your happiness, you are living together as husband and wife, whole world shares you and feels proud of your marriage. See, that is a marriage. He says, therefore, when they come together, the marriage principle means whole world is sharing your joy. They participate. Therefore, all men, rishis and gods, hence they will continue to live together as husband and wife, as long as they enjoy the goodwill and blessing of the whole world. Like rishis, devatas, now Rama expects that same devatas and rishis, they should come and clear this suspicion. Again they reinforce, okay, they reinforce, reaffirm our wedded life. That's what Rama expects. Okay, all the gods and Pitrus and the society, elderly people come over there only to reaffirm their good wishes so that they can continue their dharmic wedded life. So that time, when Sita says, you see, go to the Agni Pravekshe Havyavahanam, I shall enter into fire only, she says. She doesn't say I am committing suicide. Now while praying to fire, she says, Patume pavakaha, let fire protect me by clearing the suspicion. She doesn't say, let fire consume me and take away my life, I don't want to live. She doesn't say. See, when she is praying to fire, praying to Agni, let Agni take away my life and I don't want to live this humiliation. She says that, let the fire protect me. Let the fire not burn me. As I told you in my previous class, Sita had Siddhi of Agni Devata because Rama and Sita do everyday Nityagnihotram. So their Agni is their Devata. They have a Ishta Devata Siddhi. Agni blesses them. When you ask, Agni comes, appears and blesses them. Earlier also, when Hanuman's tail was set on fire by Ravana's ministers, Ravana's servants, there also Sita prayed that Shito Bhava Hanumataha. Wo Agni, you cool down the Agni on the tail, and as she prays, Hanuman's fire was cooled down. Because when your Ishta Devata, Bhakti is there, every Grihastha or even everybody for that matter must have, you should never do apachara to your Ishta Devata. Have your Ishta Devata. Always every day do your puja, achara, whatever it is, Naivedyadikam, you do it. And your Ishta Devata Siddhi comes, they will protect you. You pray and things will happen. Therefore, Sita prayed and Agni has cooled down for in case of Hanuman. And I narrated another story in Markandeya Purana, one Brahmana who goes to the Tretagni, Nityagnihotri. He goes to Himalaya for visiting. Afterwards, the power, what you call the herb, which one yogi has given to him, the herb melts away, which is rubbed on his feet melts away. Now is the evening Sandhya Samaya comes, he has to do Agnihotra and Sandhya Vandana, he is unable to come. He cannot come home and he says, my parents are there and I am unable to do Agnihotra, how can I live? My family members are there and he is in Himalayas and is somewhere in South India, how can he come? And he is praying to them. Ultimately, the time is appearing, the sun is about to set. Now he prays to his own Agnis which he did every day, he worshipped every day. The Teta Agnis help him to come back, get back home. See, your Ishta Devata Siddhi, Ishta Devata Puja, you should never do apachara for your Ishta Devata. Never skip them. Never skip them. Even if you commit a little mistake, immediately do prayaschitta and get back your relationship, your devotion, your commitment to your Ishta Devata. Therefore, Sita has that blessing of her Ishta Devata, Agni, Nityagnihotra, Rama and Sita were doing. Therefore, she told, I am praying to that Agni, who helps us. She says, Mam sarvatah patu pavakaha. Let that fire protect me. Not kill me and burn me out. See how Sita doesn't, because there is no depression in Sita. Valmiki clearly says, Nishanke Nantaratmana. Her mind is very clean and pleasant mind. There is no harassment, there is no tension, there is no worry, there is no anger against Rama. There is the same love and respect for Rama, love and devotion. She did Pradakshina to Ramachandra and comes to do the Namaskara to Agni. She is in a devotional mood only, isn't it? So she goes around Agni and prays that same Agni I know, whom I have worshipped all these days. The Agni will definitely protect me. With that prayerful mind, she enters into Agni and all the Devatas, Rishis were shocked. The people around, Vanaras, they were telling, what is this? As she stepped in, wherever she stepped, Agni became cooled down. See, first step, Agni cooled down. Second step, again cooled down. She entered into the middle of it, Agni cooled down. Amazing, because that is Ishta Devata Siddhi. She worshipped all her life. And then three things come. Devatas appear. Okay. Devatas appear. I won't go into details. I'll tell the basic essence of it. Because we are not discussing whole Ramayana. This episode alone I want to say, because there are a lot of misinterpretations by these Indologists and our own communists and our own half-baked Hindus. Those who have not studied traditionally from Guru Mukha, they have got their own interpretations. Most of them are very worldly-minded interpretations. Okay, they don't see dharma in it. And Ramayana is meant for dharma. If it is not for dharma, what else it is? Vedopa Brahmana Arthaya, Valmiki said. It is for the Vyakhyana. It is a commentary on Veda. Veda means dharma only. What else? Dharma and bhakti, all that is dharma only. Bhakti, dharma, jnana, everything is dharma only. So Devatas appear. Ashtadikpalakas. First three Devatas we can say. One is Brahma, Shiva and Indra. Three people talk. And one Dasharatha is Pitru. One Pitru and three Devatas. Briefly I say, Brahma comes. Brahma comes and tells him, hey, you are a Vishnu and she is Sita. Why are you rejecting Sita like that? He says. Then Rama says, Atmanam Manusham Manye. This also becomes a controversial to people. Oh, Rama doesn't know that he is God and he is this thing. Rama doesn't know he is a God, therefore he is a human being. Rama is telling, okay, I have to read other commentators what they told. Govinda Rajya and all, I have not referred, there was no time. I shall refer and tell you. But I read directly Valmiki Ramayana. I contemplated on the shlokas, whatever meaning occurred to me, I shall share with you. So he says, Atmanam Manusham Manne Ramam Dasharathatmajam. Rama wants to say that I am in this human form. I have to act like a human being. If I can say I am God, okay, so what? See, if a minister, I tell you, if he is a minister and then there is an accusation against a minister, then what he is supposed to do? First he should resign, put an inquiry commission, wait for a few months until the inquiry is over, maybe few days or months. Once he is cleared of the suspicion, then he can be reinstated as a minister. So similarly, now, and he can't say that no, my heart is clean, my conscience is clean, I know I am a great minister, I have not cheated, I am not corrupt, I have not taken money from anybody, therefore I ignore the complaint, I ignore the suspicion of the people, I shall continue as a minister. He may do, if the suspicion is too motivated, he may do it, that's a different, I am not talking detailed politics, I am talking only the dharma aspect here. So we don't enter into detailed politics. So here, similarly, if there is an accusation here, Rama says, I can't say that I am Vishnu and she is Sita, therefore I don't care for public opinion. I don't care for the public suspicion. As Rama already told Janapavada, I am talking on behalf of the people because they have a suspicion. Rama didn't say I have a suspicion against Sita. Because the people are suspecting. Therefore, what can I do? I have to convince people. I have to obey. I have to follow the people. I have to care for the people's feelings. So he says, Atmanam Manusham Manne, when he says, I know I am Vishnu, that Brahmadeva, you don't have to come and tell me. Because I have to tell you that I am Vishnu. See, Vishnu need not be told by Brahma that you are Vishnu. Vishnu knows that he is a Vishnu, he is an avatara. Rama has not forgotten that he is avatara. Thing is, I am in a human form. So I have to follow the human dharma. If there is a suspicion, I am an ordinary king as a human being. So therefore, I have to follow the human dharma. When there is a suspicion, I am setting an example for other people that as a human being, if a human king, there is a suspicion, do something to clear the suspicion, then continue dharma. That's what he means. Now I have to do something to clear the suspicion. Therefore, I am in a human form now. Tell me what I am. Then if you tell it loudly in front of everybody so that everybody will hear. That's what Rama's purpose. Yes, I am in a human form. I know that I am Vishnu. You don't have to tell me that I am Vishnu. You tell what I am to the people in front of here. All the Vanaras, thousands of people, Pitrus, Devatas, Rishis, tell them in front of. Then he describes that you are Vishwarupa Paramatma, the detailed whole chapter, 117th chapter. Sita, Lakshmi and you are Rama. So one more idea implied is Rama, Vishnu and Lakshmi are inseparable. They are one. Like two sides of a same paper. See, two sides of a paper. Can you take up one side of the paper and leave another side? One side of the paper and another side of the paper. Impossible. I think I have not seen any person capable of taking one page and separate from the another page. Impossible. You take one sheet of a paper, two sides come together. Similarly, Sita and Rama, that is Lakshmi and Vishnu, are inseparable. Therefore, Sita cannot think of other person. Sita's mind is in you. You also love Sita. Therefore, you are together as one. As together as Vishnu and Lakshmi. That's what Vishnu says. Brahma says. Okay, the second. Then fire comes. The fire himself comes in human form. Because they are Ishtadevata. Because Nityagnihotris, they have done every day Agni. So that they have got that Ishtadevata Siddhi, therefore Agni Devata came. Agni Devata comes and tells them, you see, he says that Sita is Nitya Shuddha. Because Papamasyam na vidyate, I am the Sakshi, he says. Ramam Sakshi Lokasya Pavakaha. I am the Sakshi for all activities wherever things are happening. As a Sakshi, he is a Vaishwanara Agni. He is not a simple Agni, Vaishwanara Devata. Prapancha Sakshi Agni Devata, he says, I know Sita. You can have Vibhishana as a witness and Lankans, that Lankan people who were in charge of Sita, they are also witness, but they are empirical witness. I am giving you divine witness. So Sita's mind is in you. Sita never developed Stockholm syndrome. Generally, as I told you already, I just said in 2 sentences in my previous talks, people are kidnapped by terrorists, live there 1 month, 2 months. When they come back, they start in front of the police and media talking in favor of terrorists alone. Oh, they are nice people, they are so good people, government should yield to them and then accept their demands and all kinds of things they talk. So that means Stockholm syndrome has entered. Sita never talked. So because people may be suspecting, has Sita developed any soft corner for Rama, Lanka and all these things, or still she stands by Rama and Dharma alone? So they wanted to know. He says Sita stands by Dharma, never developed Stockholm syndrome, never developed any soft corner for Ravana and others. She is purely yours. So Agni says that. And even if pralobhyamanaha, however she is tempted, like the modern feminists, without being tempted, they developed, I think they themselves are giving application to Ravana, please you kidnap us. Because the modern, some of the feminists are so much attracted by Ravana, they fell in love with him. Before Ravana kidnapped them, they themselves want to be kidnapped. I'm just a little exaggerating, okay? That means I'm talking of their mind, okay? Just I'm a little exaggerating, take it lightly. That means they're defending. Oh, Ravana was such a great man and all those things. If he's so great, then go and live it. They say they are willing. They hate Rama. Because the love between Rama and Sita for a higher principle, they don't appreciate. It is something like, during our freedom struggle, these people participate in freedom struggle, family gets neglected. You say that I'll divorce my husband, he's going in freedom struggle, why is he not taking care of? I'll marry somebody else who works under British and in favor of British rule, because I'll get a lot of money and then he takes care of me, loves me, he takes care of me and at home. Therefore, I will marry a person who is in favor of Britishers and who doesn't participate in freedom struggle. If somebody says, what will you say? Because this fellow ignores my family life and then he lives there. And he dies also, then I'll making me a widow. No, I will marry another person who works on behalf of Britishers so that I'll get money and then pleasure and everything comfortable I can live. This is a real healthy wife and husband. Okay, at least our people followed Ramachandra and Sita, they did not yield to that. Our Indian people did not yield to that during Gandhiji's days. Therefore, modern people say that, so what, she must have lived with Ravana only, or she should have liked Ravana. Ravana was a great man, nice man, very smart man, they thought. Okay, these are all their own mind. So, see, Agni himself is answering to these feminists. Okay, Agni Devata is answered. I think people should read Valmiki directly. They don't go by others' interpretation. You read directly Valmiki. Valmiki explains everything. He had a long, long vision. So, therefore, don't think them. One good thing he says, she is Nitya Shuddha. Nitya Shuddha means what? Her heart is always in you. She never gave up the dharma, the same dharma which you brought you together and inspired you together, because of which she left her Ayodhya and started living in forest with you, such like a rishi. 14 years she lived like a rishi. Do you think she will develop any soft corner for anybody? Ravana. She lived 14 years with you in such a forest like a rishi, like a sannyasi, with such a suffering, hard life. And now with testing, she cannot do that. Therefore, aham ajñāpayāmi, I am ordering you accept her. She is your wife and no question. Then Sita answers, yes, I know. Rama answers, I know it. Only people may criticize, people have a suspicion, people are what they are, what can I do? Therefore, on behalf of them, I presented this suspicion. I wanted this kind of clearance from you, O God, God Indra, God Agni, O God Brahma. I wanted this kind of empirical evidence and divine evidence, so that hereafter, people will not have any suspicion and we continue our dharma. Because I married her only by the blessings of gods and Pitrus and the Rishis, now I want them to reaffirm that we can live together. I want them to reaffirm. They told, yes, here we are reaffirming you, you are together, nobody can separate live. That's all. He says, I know, even if she lives in Ravana, Ravana can't do anything. Ravana cannot tempt her. I know Sita, he says. I know Sita's heart. Sita asked beforehand, hey, haven't you seen me right from my childhood, my nature? You have seen me right from my childhood. Don't you know my nature and character? What are the values I stand by? what can attract me, what cannot attract me. Don't you know? Even after knowing me, you are talking like that, like an ordinary man talking to an ordinary woman. Sita questioned it. Rama didn't say. Rama is answering to Sita here. Yes, I know you right from childhood. I know Sita cannot be tempted. I know her right from her childhood. I know her nature, character, her heart and everything. I know her. Now he is answering to Sita's question. Then I ignored knowingly, when Sita was entering into fire, only because I am so sure that Devatas will come and bless us. I was so sure, I was only praying to fire, Agni. I was praying to God Agni that he will come and bless us and protect Sita and me and protect our life, our married life. And luckily you came and blessed us. I am happy. Okay. Then Sita comes. Sita is accepted, comes to the side of Rama, stands by the right side of Rama. They sit together, they come together, that is over. Then Shiva comes. Shiva doesn't say anything, you have done good thing by killing Ravana and then this thing, there's nothing much. He advises you, go back to Ayodhya because your Kausalya and Bharata is suffering, anxiously waiting for you, go immediately. Dasharatha comes and tells Pitru again. Here Dasharatha, other things I skip, only important point I say. He consoles Sita, apologizes in a way, in apologetic tone on behalf of Rama. I understand Sita, you are deeply hurt. You are deeply hurt. Rama has to, in order to live dharma, he has to use very harsh words and he used it. I know it is deeply hurting you. On behalf of Rama, I feel for you. So as your father-in-law, I understand your heart, please. And he tells Rama two things. Therefore, Sita, don't carry any evil, now you forgive him. And he tells Rama also, again Rama, you console her, you apologize to her, you do whatever cools down her mind, her hurt feeling, whatever, you do something which makes her feeling go away, that hurt feeling go away, he advises. Indra also comes. Then Indra also comes and Indra does some blessing. Okay, Indra, with the blessing of Indra, he helps other what you call Vanaras. Then Indra last tells in the saying, Maithilim Santvayaschainam Anuraktam Yashaswini. Now you go and apologize to her, make her feeling, that the hurt feeling goes away. Indra also advises it. Now the thing is over. Other events we are not interested. I wanted to touch this thing. Only the last point remains. I think in one talk we will complete it. In Uttarakanda, Ramachandra abandoning Sita, how it should be understood, in what context it has to be seen. That also, I think partly little I explained, but a few more points I need to be explained. Probably half an hour, 45 minutes we may do, or maybe 1 hour we will finish it. Only one class I will take it. Then the day after tomorrow we will continue Adhyasa Bhashya. Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat.